Hey everyone and welcome. In this video we look at the sacking of Rebecca Long-Bailey, formerly known as Grotbags, from the Shadow Cabinet for, you ready? Anti-Semitism. Not a surprise, is it?
And I do believe that we have rotten politics, and I'm not using that as an exaggeration.
Yes, you heard it right, yep, she has. She's been booted out for sharing an article which was racist. Firstly, Keir, you're going to have to sack a lot if you're going down that route. Not sure you've got enough. Secondly, I expect a full apology. And she should never work again. Not because I want to cancel her, but because that's what they would be screaming if the boot was on another foot, would it not? She should never work again, in my opinion. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. Also, I'd like to see criminal charges brought against her. If you can be investigated for a flag in the sky, you can also be investigated for sharing anti-Semitic tweets. This is a party that has called the working class of this country bigots, racists, xenophobes, Islamophobes, etc., for wanting to leave the EU and that alone. Are we surprised the BAME community now think the whole country's racist when you got these vile creatures telling it so for years? As well as the media, of course. I blame Labour. I hope their racism of low expectations and anti-British rhetoric and complete disregard for the BAME community they are supposed to support. You have to think most of the bad places for people to live in the UK are in Labour areas and have been for years. What have they done to help us? I'd like to know, because I can't think of anything. Now the article is actually titled Labour leader Sir Keir Starmer sacks Rebecca Long-Bailey over anti-Semitic conspiracy theory article. Rebecca Long-Bailey is fired from the Shadow Cabinet after sharing an article which contained an anti-Semitic conspiracy theory. This afternoon, Keir Starmer asked Rebecca Long-Bailey to step down from the Shadow Cabinet. A spokesman for the Labour Party leader said. The article Rebecca shared earlier today contained an anti-Semitic conspiracy theory. As leader of the Labour Party, Keir has been clear that restoring trust with the Jewish community is a number one priority. Anti-Semitism takes many different forms and it is important that we are all vigilant against it. Ms Long-Bailey, who stood in the race to replace Jeremy Corbyn, was chosen by Sir Keir to be Shadow Education Secretary. Education. Let that sink in. Anti-Semitic post, Education Secretary. It's not scary much, is it? We need a full sweep of the education system, in my opinion, for this. When he became leader in April, her sacking comes after she shared on Twitter an interview with the actress Maxine Peake, describing her as an absolute diamond. In the interview, Miss Peake claimed the US police linked to the killing of George Floyd had learned their tactics from the Israeli secret services. Wow. I will leave a link to the article in question in the description, everyone. Go and check it out. After attracting criticism for a tweet, Ms Long-Bailey said she retweeted Maxine Peake's article because of her significant achievements and because of the thrust of her argument is to stay in the Labour Party. She added, it wasn't intended to be an endorsement of all aspects of the article. Well, you should have read what you were endorsing then, should you not? In a series of passages after her sacking was announced, Ms Long-Bailey said she shared the article from my constituent and stalwart Labour Party supporter Maxine Peake. Can I just say at this point, absolute rubbish. The way that they actually police Twitter now, you would 100% expect she knew exactly what that article was and she thought she could get away with it. That's what this is all about. Am I wrong? Prove me wrong, everyone. Because its main thrust was anger with the Conservative government's handling of the current emergency and a call for Labour Party unity. She added, these sentiments are shared by everyone in our movement and millions of people in our country. Are the anti-Semitism ones as well? Are you admitting to that one? I've not heard of an apology yet, have you? It's because they are. They are the biggest racists in this country, Labour, in my opinion, but we'll carry on reading. I learned that many people were concerned by references to international sharing of training and restraint techniques between police and security forces. In no way was my retweet an intention to endorse every part of that article. Well, you should have read it all then, shouldn't you? You deserve this just because you were either complacent or stupid. Either way, you don't deserve to be in the Shadow Cabinet. Ms Long-Bailey said she wanted to acknowledge these concerns and duly issued a clarification of my retweet, which was agreed in advance with Sir Keir's office. but after posting I was subsequently instructed to take both this agreed clarification and my original tweet down, she said. I could not do this in good conscience without the issuing of a press statement for clarification. I had asked to discuss these matters with Keir before agreeing what further action to take, but sadly he had already made his decision. Now this just sounds like she's trying to stab him in the back for getting rid of her, doesn't it? Does this sound like truth, or does this sound like her spinning it to try and not be finished forever? Because imagine what it was like, what it would be like if someone on the right said this. She would have already made sure that the media hounded them into complete destruction, i.e. lost your job, your missus loses your job, your family harassed, your family are threatened. All of that she would have been a champion of. So in my opinion, it should be reversed. We should make sure she never works again as an MP. Just out of the shadow cabinet is not enough, in my opinion. That she should never be an MP with those sort of ideologies, and I don't believe that she didn't know that what was in that article. She just thought she could get away with it. Bailey, who became MP for Salford and Eccles in 2015, said she would continue to support the Labour Party in Parliament under Keir Starmer's leadership to represent the people of Salford and Eccles and work towards a more equal, peaceful and sustainable world. We don't want racists in our Parliament, thank you very much. Labour MP Dame Margaret Hodge, who is Jewish, tweeted, "This is what a change in culture looks like. This is what zero tolerance looks like. This is what rebuilding trust with the Jewish community looks like." I have huge objections to the entirety of that, and I'll tell you why at the end. Marie van der Ziel, President of the Board of Deputies for British Jews, thanked Sir Keir for his swift action and said he was backing his words with actions on anti-Semitism. Really? Jonathan Goldstein, chair of the Jewish Leadership Council. This is where the media are rolling out the handful of Jewish people they can find to back him. Have you not noticed? He understands the severity and harm that anti-Semitic conspiracies do to our politics. But John MacDonald, who was Shadow Chancellor under Mr Corbyn, made it clear that he disagreed with the decision. Yeah, because he doesn't mind racism so long as it's against the right race. Isn't that right, John? Isn't it? Throughout discussion of anti-Semitism, it's always been said criticism of practices of Israel state is not anti-Semitic, he said. I don't believe, therefore, that this article is or Rebecca Long Bailey should have been sacked. I stand in solidarity with her. We stand in solidarity with the gentleman that put a White Lives Matter banner up in the sky, but he was still sacked, wasn't he? And his missus. What did she have to do with it? Absolute disgrace. All championed by people like you, John MacDonald, you piece of crap. Now, what's my opinion on this? I think it's an absolute joke. These shits have been playing the saviour of the BAME community for years, and they are the real racists. I want the book thrown at her, but it won't be. She should never work again. If we worked like the left and the cancel culture, she would be finished for that. If Keir wants to stop anti-Semitism, he's going to have to sack most of the MPs, most of the activist groups, all of the anti-hate groups, and unmembership, the whole lot of them, in my opinion. I'm hoping that this shows the normies that what Labour are truly like. But I doubt the sheep will notice or care for that matter. One down, thousands to go, everyone. Oh, and by the way, you can't get out in front of this one, Keir. No matter how hard you try, you were in with them all. Under Corbyn, your silence was violence. Literally. Turn it against them. Well, anyway, that's everything. I hope you enjoyed the absolute shit show that is Labour. Don't forget to leave a comment, like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon. Stay safe, everyone, and I'll see you on the next one.